Howdy, folks. The last 2 days have been humdingers of days. What do you want from me? Yeah, I can't keep coming on here saying it was an interesting day. It was a doozy of a day. Like the people with the drinking game for interesting or doozy stopped watching videos at like number 57 because they couldn't stand up. And every time they come back to watch a video, I'm like, well, it was an interesting day. And then they're like drunk again. So for the sake of the people playing the drinking game, because I keep repeating myself, it was a humdinger of the last 2 days. So live with it. You can see I am sweating. It is boiling. I think, where am I down? I may be down in the 6,000s. It is hot down here. I'm not used to this stuff. I'm used to like being up in 8, 9, and 7, and this 5 and 6 stuff is hot, and the trails brought us down a bit, excuse me. Okay, so excuse like all the sweat stains and the greasy, sweaty hair and all that lovely stuff. I mean, if it cools down tonight, there's going to be some mad condensation, so I have no idea if it's going to cool down. I'm going to be sleeping on top of my sleeping quilt tonight. I won't be getting in it, I don't think. Okay. I am on the CDT proper. In our navigation, it's a red line. So you may have heard me sometimes refer to the red line. That's the CDT proper. I would say 1 out of every 9 hikers take the CDT proper. The rest take the Anaconda cutoff. So like the comments I'm seeing in the navigation app for water sources of people that say, hey, it's still flowing. They're from like the 23rd, the 24th, and 25th of August. I'm here on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of September. So it's been a hot minute since somebody has updated those water sources. Also, the water sources are drying up. So as I go through, I'm leaving comments just in case some crazy fool is coming behind me and needs no water. Some of them are drying up. Some of them went from good flow to trickles. And tomorrow is going to be ridiculous. I passed a water source about like a mile and a half back, and I got 5 liters of water. I thought that'd be enough, and I checked because there's like water source icons in our app, and I was like, okay, at least one of them's got to be good. I just checked all of them. None of them are good. They're all mud or worse. They're dry. So there's like 2 off-trail sources, one at 12 miles and one at 15 miles from where I'm camping, and that's it. So I gotta carry tomorrow's camp water halfway through the day, at mile 15. So I got like 13 miles to carry. Now I'm gonna check the other icons, like the intersections and like cattle guards or whatever it is, whatever the icon is. I'm going to check the notes to see if someone's found water. I'm also going to look at the USGS national map to see if there's blue that may not be identified in our app or maybe off trail. So I think at least in 12 and 15 miles I have water, but that's a long day without water, and it's a long carry to camp. So I'm about, I think, what was it? I think I was at 32.1 miles away from the Interstate 90 where I go into Butte. So tomorrow I'll hike about 28. I'll leave 4 for Monday morning, and then I'll get a ride. There's actually 2 trail angels in Butte that offer rides, so hopefully one of them is around on the holiday. So why have the last 2 days been humdingers of days? So today's Saturday, yesterday's Friday. So yesterday was day 128. I got up, packed my stuff. I had a really great sleep, and I was in the first mile, which was a descent, before I did the last up. So you'll remember that like Wednesday and Thursday, it's been this, and it's like 1,300 feet, 1,700 feet, 1,200 feet. So it's been a lot of up. And the last one of those passes was going to be Friday morning, or it was Friday morning. And I had a small descent, like a mile something descent, and then I started the ascent. I rolled my ankle on that 1 mile descent. I was trying to step around, I think it was roots or rocks, something. Like, I do not understand. Since we've left Ledor, so from Ledor to Wisdom, and now Wisdom to Butte, and tomorrow is my last real hiking day. I don't understand the maintenance practice of this area. I understand roots. Roots are going to be in the trail. I understand you're going to have half buried rocks because they're huge and you can't get them out. I do not understand why there is basically a carpet of loose rocks all over all of these trails. All of it is an exaggeration, but like 75% of these trails just are covered with rocks. It's almost like they built the trail, like put the tread down and everything, and as they were working, put all the rocks in buckets, and then at the very end, they're like, all right, now dump all the rocks onto the trail so it slows the water. Like, that's an antiquated way to control water. I think I may have mentioned this in other videos, but you want to get the water off the trails using water bars. So you can use like log bars, rock bars. Like today, there was actually synthetic materials they were using for water control to get the water off the trail. And once you put those in, you have to go out every 2 or 3 years and clean them out. If not, water just rolls right down the trail because they just look like steps. They're not steps. They're water controls that need to be cleaned out, but no one's done the recurring maintenance. So I was stepping around a root and my left foot just landed on some unstable rocks. I tried to catch myself with my right foot. I stepped off trail, which there was a little bit of a ledge, and rolled. And full body weight on the right foot. My trekking pole was not planted. I fell forward right on that ankle. I had to sit there for, 5 to 10 minutes, like trying to massage the ankle and get it to the point where it was not throbbing and hurting. I ended up hiking 29 and a half miles yesterday, because I gotta, but my ankle wasn't happy about it. Last night I put ibuprofen in my body. I massaged the ankle. I got up this morning and it was definitely swollen, but it was looking okay. And this morning when I started hiking, for the first half of the day, it was all right. But as the day progressed, it started swelling. And by the end of the day, there was pain when I ran my hands on the back side of my ankle because the sock was constricting the swelling of the ankle. Basically, I think I have a severe high ankle sprain. I should probably be sitting on my butt for 2 weeks and icing this thing, elevating this thing, taking ibuprofen, compressing it, and letting it rest. But guess what? Hiking the CDT. So it doesn't get to rest. So I followed a 29 and a half mile day with a 27 and a half mile day today, and it's unhappy. So I took more ibuprofen and I'm going to massage it before I go to bed. And hopefully tomorrow morning it'll be happy. And then as the day progresses, it'll be angry. Monday, I just have to hike 4-ish miles, and then I can go sit in a hotel room for 2 days and elevate it. And the hotel will have an ice machine. I can put ice on it and, just take the trash can, fill it with water, fill it with ice, and just douse the thing. So, yeah, it's been an interesting couple of days. I had the fall where I landed on my left shoulder, which you can see here, it's, got a little bit of a wound. It's doing better. I can reach it behind me. There's still a little bit of pain, but it's much more free-flowing. When I bushwhacked to get around the Trail Ridge fire, I got myself, I don't know if you can see them, but a bunch of scratches because we were bushwhacking and we're going over down trees and the ground was uneven. It wasn't a trail. So I got me some of those. I rolled my ankle, which I haven't rolled my ankle. I was trying to think the last time I rolled my ankle. I think it might have been Colorado. And I've had 2 severe rolls. One was the first day out in New Mexico, and the second was, I don't remember. I think it was, it might have been the day when I rolled it twice in southern Colorado when I was hiking the Colorado Trail. And then the one yesterday, was a really bad roll. This is probably a severe sprain, but we march on. So last night, the reason why I got 29 and a half miles is because I got into a situation where again, there's limited water. So I got to go with what water sources there are. So I hiked to a water source, collected my water. There was no camping around, and it was on a road where cars could drive. So I was hiking on a dirt road. So I hiked up to where the road has a gate and no more motorized vehicles. That means I can camp on the side of the road if I need to, and I needed to. I hiked a couple miles after the water source, which I was not intending to do. I didn't get into camp until after 7:30, which is a big no-no in grizzly country because you don't want to be cooking or cleaning in the dark. And I ended up putting my tent on the side of the road. There was a little pull-off, and it was rocky. I cleared the sharp rocks. I put my tent down. That's where I camped. 12 a.m. I heard the shriek. Anybody who's heard the mountain lion shriek knows the mountain lion shriek. There's no mistaking it. When you hear it, you know it. It sends a chill up and down your spine, and you just hope the damn thing's going away from you and not interested in your camp when you're camping solo. I had a situation on the PCT where I was with two other people. We heard the shriek. One of the people I was camping near is a zoologist, and I whispered, "What was that?" And she goes, "Shut up," because she knew what it was. And after like 30 minutes, I think, of, it wasn't 30 minutes. The next morning, I asked her, like, "Hey, what was that?" And she goes, "You know exactly what that was." And it was a mountain lion. There were prints on the trail. It looked like it had been chasing an elk or something, maybe a deer. And that shriek, it's unmistakable. So last night at 12 a.m., I heard the shriek, and there wasn't one shriek. The damn thing was up. So my camp on the road, there was a hill that goes up to the rest of the mountain, and then on the other side, where the road, it just drops off. And the mountain lion was up the hill above my tent. It was walking back and forth, shrieking. I don't know if it was calling to something, because when they hunt, they're quiet as can be. And this mountain lion was definitely shrieking. So I don't know if it was a young looking for a mom. I don't know if it was looking for a sibling. I don't know if it was talking to me and upset that I was there. I don't know. But it was a good solid good solid 10 minutes of the shrieking and the lion walking back and forth. Like, I could hear the shrieking go off in the distance, and then it came back, and it did it a couple times. It also walked on the road. It shrieked once on the road. I know it was on the road because it was like pretty damn close to my tent, and it wasn't up above me. Like, it was on the same level as me. So didn't sleep very well last night. I did doze off eventually, like after, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes. And then I thought the mountain lion had gone because I heard the shrieking like around the corner. So I thought it gone. And then suddenly I heard the shriek really damn close. So it had stopped shrieking. It had gotten close to my tent. And then for some reason it shrieked again. So there was probably 6 to 8 shrieks in total at varying distances. And it's one of those things where you hear it and you're camping alone, you remain quiet, you hope that the lion's not going to mess with the tent, and everything's hunky-dory, and it was. So, it's funny, if you hear a noise of a bear, you start yelling and, turning on your headlamp and grabbing your bear spray and everything else, like you want to scare the bear away. If it's a mountain lion, you kind of want to scare it away, but also you don't want it to alert it, like where you are. So yeah, that was fun. So I got up this morning, started hiking, and I realized this is Labor Day weekend. I gotta get a hotel room in Butte on a holiday weekend because I'm staying Monday night and Tuesday. So I'm like, I'm gonna pay out the nose. So I ended up having to sit down for an hour, do research on where the hotels were, because I don't want to get something that's 5 miles out of town. I also don't want to pay $350 for something that should be $160 in regular times. So, you know, I had to spend an hour. Thankfully, I got some internet service after one of the ascents, which was, what, 2,000 feet or something. That was a large ascent. That was spread over like 5 miles. And I was able to get hotels, probably paying more than I should, but it's much more reasonable. Like 2 nights is costing me the price of 1 night at, you know, one of the or many of the hotels. So, and many of them were sold out. So that put me behind, hiking wise. And then today's water sources were also spread out, and drying up. So I would like look at the app, navigation app, and they'd be like, hey, you have 3 water sources coming up. I look at the notes from the last person who went by, and they're like, dry, low trickle, gonna disappear. And it's like, okay. So I had to step off trail a couple times. So like I had to hike 3/10 of a mile and drop 215 feet down to get some water and then come back up. Thankfully there were some creeks on trail that were flowing, and you know, I was able to get enough water to get through the day. I think I'm okay hydration wise, but it's so hot here, like this is going to dehydrate me just because I'm sitting here, I'm just sweating. So tomorrow's water sources being 12 and 15 miles away is a bit concerning. Sorry, today was day 129. Totally forgot to mention that. So the last thing for today was I started running from a rainstorm towards the end of the afternoon or mid-afternoon, like 4:30ish. Rainstorm started coming in. It was getting pushed from the south to the north, and I was right on the edge, but I could see there were clouds that kind of jutted out. So thankfully the trail took me south and then east, and I was able to get away from the rain. I looked behind me, I could definitely see it was raining, so I got lucky on that. No rain for me, but it was raining north, which is great. I'm all for it raining north where I'm headed, so that the water sources and the water sources are running, and the fires are kept to a minimum or none, or dampened if they're already burning. So I think that was the complete download of the last few days. Rolled my ankle, had a mountain lion visit my camp. Water is really scarce, and I'm rolling into camp late. Like today, because I was behind, because I had to take an hour to do the hotel stuff and then an hour to like get off trail to go get water and whatnot. I was about 4-ish miles behind, so I ended up hiking to 7:30 again tonight. In my defense, I also started late this morning. There's no way I was getting out of my tent at 6:30 when it's just starting to show some light. And I'm like, hey, mountain lion, how are you? So, you know, that was not going to happen. So I did start late. I waited till the light was pretty well lit outside before I got out of the tent. So that was a third thing that hindered my getting into camp at a decent time. So tomorrow I'm hoping to get, oh yeah, I'm camped on a road again. This one's an active road with like vehicles and stuff. So where we cross I-15, Interstate 15, there's a road that leads in, and for the first 3.3 miles, it's privately owned, and they've put up fences on both sides. So you have the road, and then you have the corridor on each side. And they've put the fence in a really, for them, it's an intelligent place. For us hikers looking for a place to camp, it's really annoying, because there's not really a whole lot of flat spots. So I basically pressed down some brush, and I'm camped on the side of the road, like, I don't know, 1.5 miles away from the water source. I mean, if the rancher comes up in the morning, I'm sure they'll be upset, but they can't do anything because I'm on the right side of the fence, meaning the road side of the fence, and I'm in the corridor. So it is what it is. So anywhoosie, I'm hoping not to have mountain lions and grizzly bears visit me, so I can get up and get going early tomorrow and hike miles when it's cool in the morning, get to the first water source, drink a bunch of water, refill my Camelback and everything, and then get ready to carry a boatload of water to camp. So, oh, there's a car coming. Fantastic. So I think that's about it. Yeah, so there's a shout out yesterday. The navigation app that we use, let's hope the car doesn't hit me. Success. The navigation app that we use was off yesterday, and because it's Labor Day weekend, locals and other enthusiasts are all over the mountains and the roads and whatnot. And so shout out to the gentleman who helped guide me. It turns out that they demolished the CDT and our app hasn't been refreshed, and I just needed to follow some switchbacks, but it wasn't clear where to go. So shout out to that gentleman who offered me a beer, offered me directions, and told me if I needed more assistance that they were the first camp down the road. So thanks for that, buddy. I think that's it. I'm gonna set up my tent and go to sleep if I can. It's hot. So have I mentioned it's hot? Have a very nice evening. Thank you for watching the videos. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday weekend, getting some rest, and I will talk to you folks tomorrow. Bye.